Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Annie. So today I'll be making sourdough Graham crackers with you guys. So technically you'll be using this for either no bake or bake cheesecake, for s'mores, certain types of pies, and snacks. So my kids, I made this once before prior to test out this recipe I wanted to share with you guys. It was a hit. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit the ingredients, but it's super easy to make. And this time I'm making it with sourdough starter. But I also have another recipe with regular, no sourdough, and I'll also be sharing that. So if you're not on the sourdough wagon, I'll make another version of it. So I'm swapping a couple of ingredients because I don't have everything. And you'll need brown sugar, honey. I don't have honey, so I'm going with molasses, butter, room temperature, flour. It says whole wheat and all-purpose. I don't have whole wheat. Sourdough starter, salt, baking soda, and cinnamon. Let's start. So butter. Put the butter here. I've kind of made it soft. Used a fork. Just made sure everything was really, really soft. So it says to cream the butter with 1/3 cup of brown sugar. I make my own brown sugar. I made a video about it. You can go check it out. And the butter is 113 grams of butter. I should have a stronger spatula to make it work. I'm going to finish this with a spoon. So now it's 1/3 cup of honey, but I'm doing black molasses. And it says discard of sourdough. I discard. I used it up yesterday, so it's going to be bubbly sourdough. But 1/2 cup of sourdough discard. You want to mix everything until very smooth. Okay, in the second bowl, it's the dry ingredients. So 1 cup of the all-purpose flour, 1 cup of the whole wheat flour, but I'm just doing all-purpose. And then 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and optional 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. So you want to whisk everything together. And then we're going to transfer the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. you're not scared, you can use your fingers to mix everything together, but it is gonna get dirty. And resist adding anything else. The first time I made it, it was hard to reach that everything being together while combined, but then at the end I realized it was just perfect. So resist the temptation. This is a recipe from Amy Duska. I'm gonna put everything in the description below for you if you wanna go check it out. This is what it looks like after lots of dirty hands. I form a ball, I'm gonna cover it, put it in the fridge for at least an hour for it to chill. You can do it longer than that for longer ferment. Just want to show you a couple of different ways that I use the discard or active starter. So this is, there's a name for it, but I just use up this card that I have. I put it in the cast iron pan with a bit of butter, and if I feel sugary, I put a little bit of cane sugar or brown sugar with cinnamon. But if I feel like I just want like a little pick-me-up snack, I just put a bit of butter and everything bagel. It's like a good snack that I love to do. Now that I have used up my sourdough starter, I'm gonna feed it. So I go 50 grams of water. I use my filtrated water. So 50 grams. There you go. And I use bread flour. I have better results with my starter with bread flour than I did with all-purpose. Zero that out. $50 grams. Yeah. I prefer doing measurements in gram than equal parts with cups. Again, I do this because not because it doesn't work. It's just I find that it works better and it's easier for me. Mix everything up. Clean the sides. I really need to get that spoon. I don't know if it's a spatula or a spoon. It's wooden. I've been eyeing it for like so long to enhance my baking, situation. But I make do with what I have. And occasionally I change jars. Especially if my starter has been sitting on a counter or in the fridge for a while, I switch up the jars. Don't forget, if you're using sourdough, your utensils, your fingers, or anything that sourdough has touched, make sure to wash it or rinse it. Because then you're gonna have, if you don't do that, you're gonna have glue everywhere. I have the lid upside down to make sure that they have a bit of airflow coming in. They have enough space. I don't finger tight it. I just like slightly put it on, and I have my elastic to show me the progress of my sourdough. This is gonna go in the fridge for an hour. See you in an hour. It's been an hour. But since this is sourdough, and you could let it ferment up to 2 days in your fridge to get even more of that benefit, I'm going to use a rolling pin, 2 sheets, and 2 baking sheets. Actually, I'm going to leave this one in the fridge because I'm going to work on this one first. Okay. And I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional baker, so they're not going to be all perfect, but they will taste good, and at least you'll know what ingredients there is inside. So this is what I say to myself every single time I'm baking. For example, I make mini loaves almost on a daily basis. It's not pretty, it's not perfect, but it's delicious. So give yourself a period of grace. If you're starting in your journey of baking, gardening, homesteading, whatever, artistic side, this actually applies on everything you start. It's not going to be perfect, and sometimes it will never be perfect. The important thing is, does it taste good if it's food? Or if your garden is not all that perfect, you're still going to have food out of it. So we want to put our muscles into it for 1/8 of an inch. Yeah. Almost there. I don't have the perfect rolling pin to do this. It's okay. So you can either leave it like this. Mine is like an artistic style of deformed circle. I just like square it a little bit. And then use the sides and make like roughed up, rustic cookies. But here, okay. Put this aside. You want about 2 inch by 2 inch. And you poke holes. So the perfect ones, I just put them like this, one next to each other on the baking sheet. And if I want to make something that does not require broken down Graham cookies, but if you're making cheesecake, you're going to need to crush them regardless. There's gonna be a second rest period of 30 minutes. And they're gonna cook in a preheated oven of 350. I guess second time's a charm. I was able to make it way better the second time. I just have like the sides. I'm gonna make another dough out of it. It's been 30 minutes. If you live in a very cold area, instead of doing this in your fridge, if you don't have space, you can put it outside. Utilize the outside. This one looks a little bit prettier, but it's all gonna taste fine. In the oven right now for 15 to 17 minutes, you're looking for like a golden cracker. While these are baking, I want to take a minute to say thank you for supporting me, for watching my content, for sharing my content, doing the thumbs up, for subscribing, because you're telling YouTube that you enjoy the content that I'm sharing. If you want to, if you're not a subscriber and you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell because it's going to give you a notification of future videos that's going to come out. Also, this recipe is inspired by something that's gonna come as content in the month of March. So I've teamed up with a friend of mine, and in the month of March, I am using one of the ingredients of this recipe, and we're creating, I think it's 10 recipes divided by the two of us, and it's gonna come out in the month of March. So make sure to hit that bell if you wanna be notified when those special videos will be out. I have to wait another 11 minutes before they're ready. Soon. This will be the most difficult part. So they are ready, they're out. But you're supposed to wait 10 minutes and then put them on a cooling rack. I never get to that point. I don't know why. But there is one way I enjoy to eat them. Super warm. And glass of cold milk. It has to be real cold milk. And then you dunk it. I really enjoy these. An added bonus, it's sourdough. But like I said, I will also make a regular version. I will test it out a couple of times to make sure that I'm comfortable with the recipe, but then I will share it with you guys. So let me know in the comments below, what do you do with Graham cookies? And until the next one, take care. Bye.